Hi, Taurus Sun and Rising. Welcome to your August 2024 Astro Update. It's Raina here. So when the Sun is in Leo, that means that there are going to be personal planets like Mercury, like Venus, and like Mars, although this time Mars is going to be delayed in Leo to the end of the year, actually, close to the end of the year. But some of these personal planets will also be in Leo. Leo for Taurus is the fourth house of home and family. It's a fellow fixed sign. So it's the next angular house over, which is the fourth house. So there can be some, concentration of energies on the domestic side of life. Now, why is this important? Well, the Sun is in Leo as the month of August begins. And Mercury is already here. So there's already the wheels are turning, let's say. Like you could be thinking about a new home. And maybe you're even talking to potential sellers or buyers or new apartment owners, so that you can move into a new place. You might be doing that already going into the month of August, but at the very least, you might be thinking about it. Fourth house can also be your mother, so there could be some significant communication with her. Some people say the fourth house is a father for some bizarre reason, so maybe with him. And Mars, what I was going to say is that Mars is in one of the signs that Mercury rules, which is Gemini. Mercury rules two signs, Gemini and Virgo. So, when Mars is in Gemini, this is actually music to your ears. Well, any planet goes into Gemini because Gemini is your second house of earned income. What makes it extra special is that this is the house that you rule in astrology, Taurus. So Mars is going into the house that you rule. What does that mean? It can mean that you are on blast, or you're really getting geared up, or you're in that sense of urgency about making money. And Taurus is an interesting sign. I think, some people think Taurus is a lazy sign because Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus rules Taurus, Venus rules Libra, and you're pretty chill. I have Taurus rising, and I can certainly attest to that. But when you are in the mode of obtaining material supplies, if you will, you can really have a sense of urgency. There might be like a specific reason for it, and maybe it has to do with you want to move and you want to have that extra money or something. But whatever the reason, that could indicate that you are increasing the money that you are getting because you are going after it more aggressively during the whole month of August. And actually, July 20th is when all of the festivities begins, when Mars goes into Gemini. So if you're listening before July 20th, this is something to keep in mind, because you might even say to yourself, wow, what got into me? I'm like on fire here. And you might really you even have the stamina, the physical energy to do this, let alone the desire. You might have the physical energy to do this. And it might be something where you're like gung-ho about earning more money. And the significance of this is that Mars has not been in Gemini since February of 2023. We're talking a year and a half. That's quite a long time. Well, almost that long. Year and 5 months. That's a long time to kind of be, not have Mars kind of give that little jolt of extra initiative. So take advantage of it because it's going to continue throughout the month of August. On the 4th of the month, Venus goes into Virgo, which is a fellow earth sign, and it's in this great area. It's in the 5th house, which is the house of love and creativity. And this is an area that is really a fun place. It's actually the house of fun. So Venus being the goddess of love and beauty, and this being the house of love, this is a romantic placement or transit. It can also be doing pleasurable things that have a refined nature. Now, Venus being your ruler means that it has some of the characteristics of Taurus, but also of Libra. I think of, Taurus as an earthy sign. Obviously, you are an earth sign, but that kind of like the type of attractive woman that has that Taurus, maybe that Taurus rising, or just the Taurus in general, can be kind of like a sensual looking woman. Whereas there's almost like this pristine quality of the Libra Venus rulership. So I think of like the 5th house as kind of those Venusian refined qualities of, the art galleries and the things that, the theater and things like that. But this could just be like falling in love too. But almost like the bells and whistles that go along with love. So maybe it is the poetry readings or, writing poetry to a loved one, because this is in Virgo. So it could be, it's ruled by Mercury. It could be kind of like literary or something like that. But yeah, so you have Venus in this romantic area, and you have a new moon at 12 degrees of Leo in that 4th house of home and family. So new developments on the home front. And of course, the energy of the new moon it depends who you listen to, how long they say it is, but I know that it's at least a few days after that. So you may find that something that maybe with Mercury, you've been putting those feelers out there to, find a new place to move to, and you're getting some kind of developments. You're hearing back. Speaking of hearing back, on the very next day, Mercury goes retrograde at 4 degrees of Virgo in that 5th house. So sometimes that can be some sort of miscommunication, maybe with somebody that you're dating. And if it pertains to anything that is connected with, like, Mercury can be sales, maybe, 5th house can be the business that you own. There might be some kind of theme of maybe working from home, because on the 14th, Mercury goes back into Leo, into that 4th house. And, for instance, if you've been working in some kind of rented office, or I don't know, something along those lines, and you're like, hey, maybe I could just work from home. I'd save myself a lot of money. Thinking about those things. If you have, I'm not saying that you're doing this, but if there is some kind of an affair, because the 4th house can be the family that you have right now, but it's that domestic situation. But the 5th house might be new love, especially since Leo is there. And if there is something along those lines, you may be thinking about your family and, do I really want to break this up? And who knows, maybe in some cases you're separated and it's not even that you're cheating on a spouse, but you have the right, like both of you have the right to date, but maybe dating is making you value your estranged spouse even more. So on the 19th, there is a full moon at 27 degrees of Aquarius. Now, this is happening in the 10th house of career for Taurus. So this could be a good situation where somehow you gain some kind of recognition or a promotion. Full moons can bring things to some kind of a heightened state, and that might be a very good thing, like a promotion. If you've been trying to make a name for yourself, this can give, this is at the top of the chart, so it may put you in a greater awareness, public awareness. But who knows? I mean, this is a later degree of Aquarius. Maybe some of you are leaving a profession. Maybe you're retiring in some cases as well. On the 22nd, the sun goes into Virgo. So the sun goes into that 5th house. That's fun. That's like a fun time to just enjoy yourself. Are you going to enjoy yourself for the whole month? Well, as somebody who has Taurus rising, it doesn't go into my 5th house, the sun, until, September, like later in September. So I'm trying to think if I'm always having fun at that time. It's hard really to tell, but definitely it could be a creative time for you. And you already have Venus here, so that might have spurred you on. On the 28th, Mercury goes direct at 21 degrees of Leo in that 4th house. Definitely for I should have said too, for anything like a contract or a rental agreement, this may be a time when it's on again, off again, but now things can get resolved. And of course, Mercury will take a few weeks to come out of its shadow period. So just keep all of this in mind in terms of your awareness of exactly what you're doing, what you're signing up for, so that you have what you want. So it's not something that you're being very aware of what it is that you're signing and all of that good stuff. On the 29th, the next day, Venus goes into Libra. So Venus goes into this house that's an Earth house, the 6th house of work, and your health and your daily routine. This can be a great time to have a very harmonious daily routine. You will have actually not just a new moon, you're going to have a solar eclipse here in early October, Taurus, which means that you could see a new routine kind of like be true for you. Now, for some people, this may be job related because the 6th house can be jobs. And if somebody has a certain type of, work schedule, or even like if you work from home and then this is indicating that you're working away from home, that's going to be radically different in terms of how you order your day. So all of these things can play into what this can mean for you. But this is like another thing that this might even be more so the case is that you are getting a raise. Venus can be money or a bonus of some sort. And again, with the full moon in the career sector 10 days earlier, this might be the result of that. And, the full moon can also be the ending of something. So maybe you end a project that produces some kind of bonus, or commission. And yeah, so that could be it. And of course, it could be love in the workplace. That's a possibility. Harmony with coworkers, always a good one. So that's what I have for you, Taurus. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.